Latest pictures from around the In Amenas gas plant give little indication of the deadly onslaught which has been raging inside. Army helicopters swooped over the complex as the remaining militants and their captives were cornered by Algerian special forces. But hopes of a clinical rescue operation and the release of at least some hostages have been dashed with the latest official bulletin. State media now reporting that 7 foreign hostages and 11 militants have been killed in the final assault. On Friday and early Saturday, some of those foreign workers who'd escaped or were rescued began returning to their home countries. At that stage, there still remained hope for those still missing.
We still don't know really what's happening back on site, so as much as we're glad to be out, our thoughts are with colleagues that are still there at the moment.
In London, to meet his British counterpart, the US Defence Secretary declined to criticise Algeria and instead issued a warning to the militants.
We cannot accept attacks against our citizens and our interests abroad. Neither can we accept an Al-Qaeda safe haven anywhere in the world.
Misgivings about the Algerian handling of this crisis have been most sharply expressed by Japan.
We're
still far from having revealed to us an entire picture of the incident. There's still a lot of confusion in the information, so I believe we need to keep watching the situation closely.
Publicly, at least, the militants offered to release hostages in return for the freedom of Islamist prisoners. But it seems the gunmen had no intention of real negotiations.
I
told them that I was an Algerian Muslim, and they said, okay, don't be scared. We haven't come for you. We have come to exterminate the Crusaders.
They attacked the living quarters of the base and the factory as well. There were 2 groups, and one group returned to the factory and a different group returned to the living quarters. Their goal was foreign hostages. They released a few and killed the foreigners on the spot and the Algerian security officers.
Mokhtar Belmokhtar is the militant believed to have orchestrated the attack at In Amenas. The Algerian military has waged a high-profile and increasingly effective campaign to eradicate al-Qaeda groups, but one North Africa analyst says the reality is far more complex.
There has been a degree of sort of collusion, complicity, involvement between the Algerian intelligence services, that's the DRS, and these very same terrorist groups. And sooner or later, something like this was almost inevitable in the fact that what we have here, I think, is a case of the worm turned.
For years, European nations have largely ignored the presence of al-Qaeda in North Africa. That, it seems, is about to change. Paul Brennan, Al Jazeera.